Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want us to have a look at some remarks made by Laikipia Senator, a UDA senator. Remarks that have been causing a lot of heated political debate for the better part of today. Older Laikipia Senator John Kinyua proposes abolishment of the 5-year presidential term limit, 16th August 2023. So the UDA senator is proposing that Kenya should do away with the 5-year presidential term limit. He wants Ruto to continue without any limit at all. And it's very interesting that this is a senator representing an area that is prone to banditry. Children cannot be in school because insecurity in that area. Residents of Laikipia are facing very hard economic times because of the high cost of living. Instead of this senator addressing such issues with the national government, he is proposing removal of 5-year presidential term limit. That's very interesting. And there are also some members of UDA, members of parliament, who have also been proposing the abolishment of the presidential term limit. It's a little bit funny that William Ruto has been in power for less than 1 year, but already echoes from his backyard, leaders supporting him, are already yearning for the abolishment of the presidential term limits. I want us to dig deep into this, and as usual here, we don't massage anybody's ego here. We state facts as they are. I want us to dissect into these remarks for Kenyans to understand what's going on behind the scenes. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's proceed. Yes, what's going on behind the scenes and what does all that portends for Kenyans? These remarks by this Laikipia senator, I strongly believe that is just a mouthpiece being used to test the ground, how Kenyans are going to respond or to react. And this is a very deliberate move because we are not seeing leaders from Kalenjin pushing that idea, but leaders outside of the Kalenjin nation are the ones being used to push that idea. I won't be wrong to say that William Ruto and his close associates are part and parcel of this push. It might be possible that leaders close to William Ruto, with even his blessings, are the ones using these non-Kalenjin leaders to push that idea. And I strongly believe that as time goes by, such sentiments will be more frequent, and we'll even start seeing some leaders, some Azimio leaders considered rebels, also pushing for that kind of an agenda. And this is why I still maintain that one way Kenyans can stop all this madness is by Kenyans rejecting any leader supporting this regime, irrespective of what that leader is doing on the ground, because I honestly believe that this leader supporting this regime, they can pretend to be delivering on the ground, But upon getting maybe a re-election, they will abandon all the developments and they will have been used and helped William Ruto achieve his ill motives. If the opposition leaders can be bought by William Ruto to get the two-thirds, then William Ruto can actually amend the constitution and he can force these two-thirds, or rather he can do away with these presidential term limits. He can force his way in parliament, and then even through a referendum, he can also bribe IEBC. That's something possible. The only way Kenyans can stop this is by rejecting the elected leaders supporting this regime. If the ground becomes very hostile to these leaders, then I strongly believe some might be forced to retreat. But from what I'm seeing, it's clear that these leaders are supporting William Ruto and they are helping William Ruto in passing some very oppressive bills and laws in parliament, laws that are oppressing the common man on the ground. After helping William Ruto achieve that in parliament, I'm seeing they are going back to their constituencies with hunger and promising that now we are working with the national government for development. And I'm seeing Kenyans cheering them up and saying they're developmental oriented. These are actually the true enemies of the people. The moment they can be used by William Ruto to pass, or rather to do away with the presidential term limit, it means they shall have installed a dictator. A dictator who cannot be held accountable. Because the moment a leader becomes a dictator, then that leader cannot be held accountable. After all, he knows that he'll just still force his or her way back to power. So, in the long run, is the people who are going to suffer in that they're going to be having a leader who does not care what the ground is saying. And already we have started seeing that with William Ruto with the passage of Finance Bill 2023. It was very clear that a whopping 93% of Kenyans were against the finance bill, but still William Ruto coerced and forced it on the throats of Kenyans. As I talk, William Ruto has borrowed more than any other government before in less than 1 year. And in our next analysis, we are going to dig deep into that. This government has borrowed more than any other government since independence in 1 year. We are going to discuss that in our next analysis. So William Ruto's government is borrowing, and then as he borrows, he cheats Kenyans, but he's raising taxes because he does not want to borrow. He's raising taxes and equally borrowing. And he cannot actually show Kenyans where all that money is going to. So in the event that he has got these two-thirds members of parliament, then he'll be doing such things and Kenyans will do nothing. That's why it's important for Kenyans to stop this early in advance by rejecting any leader supporting William Ruto's regime. That's the only practical way Kenyans can stop this. There are no buts about it. That's the only way, ladies and gentlemen. And now to this senator, it's a fact that these are elected leaders who are not serving the people. They are serving their own personal interests and the interest of the executive. And in this case, one individual called William Samoei Ruto. This is a leader who has never spoken about the welfare of his Laikipia people. But you are now seeing he's trying to push the interest of one individual, William Samoei Ruto. Kenyans should reject such kinds of leaders. They cannot bring any meaningful development to the people. Let me stop it there for now, ladies and gentlemen. But just as I did indicate when we were starting, If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. Any other person who also may want to support us here, contact me through that number below. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you.